the hate army troll.
It's the hate army,
bro. Hate army.
Shout out to hate.
Good vibes to the
Shout
hate
out to
army.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out
Shout
for
out to
hate.
hate.
Shout out to hate.
Shout out for
Shout
hate.
out for hate.
Oh. Wow. Well, Roy did a super chat. He says hate only comes below. Remember that for the detractor losers. I have no idea what that means. I really don't.
Flashback.
Oh, so there was a super chat. Yes, I saw it was from Roy, and I want to address this. Roy, are you still here? I'm just curious, Roy, are you still around? Because I want you to hear my response to what you said. Obviously, I couldn't say anything because I was in the middle of a cutscene. Are you still here, Roy? Speak up if you are, because I want to know if you can hear what I'm saying. All right. Oh, you can't say what we're not to say. I don't know if Roy is still here and if you can hear me or not. He's here. Okay, cool. So I'm going to read what Roy had to say. This has nothing to do with the playthrough, but for clarification purposes, the other night I was doing a retro react stream on my sister channel, DSP Throwback. We were watching my original Heavy Rain playthrough from 14 years ago. People were vibing out, having a great time. We're watching the old playthrough. We're laughing at the old commentary. We're laughing at the game. We're having a great time. Roy comes in. He's very generous, and he does a bunch of super chats. They help out a ton, okay? So Roy just did another super chat. And his super chat he says the following, okay? It's $20 super chat, by the way, so thank you so much, Roy. He says, I find it funny how many people are upset because I donated $300. I've been a fan since I was in college. Don't let losers make you feel bad, DSP. Remember, hate only comes from below. I don't listen to anyone like that. Anyone who's going to go at you and complain that you contributed is a piece of shit. Like, you have to understand that. Like, these are people who just wish awful things on me and my family all the time for literally no good reason. They don't know me. They don't know the truth of anything. They're just scumbags. They're miserable people trying to bring down others. They can't stand happiness. They can't stand that someone on the internet is making a living playing games. They just hate everything around them, okay? So, Roy, I appreciate this. Here's the deal. When these people come at you, or this goes for anyone who contributes to my content, and if someone comes and harasses you, it's this simple. You laugh at how pathetic they are. You block them so they can't message you ever again, and you move on. You don't even acknowledge it. Because the moment you bring them up, you've already given them exactly what they were looking for. Attention. That's all they want. They're just a bunch of needy little children who are so upset at the life in general that, things aren't good for them, but others can have good things. Fuck them. If they're going to come harass you because you decided to do something nice, they don't need to ever be addressed. So actually us talking about them right now, sadly, is exactly what they wanted. So I'm going to stop talking about them now and not bring them up again. I appreciate your support, Roy. Just ignore the dumbasses from now on. We don't need to address them. Okay? And Brandon did a super chat and says, Roy is my hero. World would be better with more people like Roy. Well, thank you, Brandon, for the super chat as well. Thank you, Roy. Roy did another super chat, and I'll read that out in a second. Thank you so much, Roy.
Not bad.
Ready for work. Not bad.
Yummy. Roy did a whopping $50 super chat, and he says the following. You will never be criticized by people doing more than you. You'll only be criticized by people doing less. I'll match the tips goal remaining for the day. Keep up the good work. You've changed a lot of people's lives. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Roy. Roy, it is that kind of positivity that keeps the world going. It's not the people who are sitting around yelling at people, crapping on people. Oh, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Those are miserable people, right? Those are the people who hinder the world and make it worse. If they would just step out of their zone of just nasty, toxic funk for a minute and they would realize how bad they're wasting their lives, they'd be so fucking embarrassed. But the problem is no one ever does that, right? No one ever forces them to kind of open their eyes to the nonsense that they're doing. And so they just propagate it over and over, and it never ends, like a never-ending cycle of crap. We got a Torrenter. I feel bad for those people like that because you know what that means? They just don't have anyone who cares about them enough. Honestly. If someone's entire life is just spent hating on people on the internet, it's like no one pulled you aside and said, like, what are you doing with your time? Like, this is the group of people you spend time with on the internet, people who are miserable and hating on others. Like, what are you doing? with your life. Like, this is not right. This is not what you should be doing. You're wasting your time. Who the fuck, if you have someone who cares about you and loves you, they're gonna intervene in that shit and be like, no, you gotta stop that. It's toxic behavior, right? But they must not, and that's sad. That's seriously fucking sad that people just go through their whole lives with these toxic behavior on the internet and no one steps up and says, hey, you should stop that. That's really bad. That kills me, man. Damn, now I'm gonna just pick that speaker right the fuck up.
End of flashback.
Hate only comes below. Remember that for the detractor losers. I have no idea what that means. I really don't. But I thank you, Roy, for the super chat. I don't. Let me tell you something, Roy. I don't think about the detractor losers at all. At all. It's only when something happens that it affects my content or my ability to do something that I have to even think about them or bring them up. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I'm having. Look, here we are. We're enjoying a retro playthrough. We're having a good time tonight, right? This is what it's all about. Not worrying about drama nonsense. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Let's continue.
These contributions are mandatory. Tipping me helps me more than anything.